Hi, welcome to episode 4, 2 months under the mast. This takes place June to July of 2020. We had a heat wave during that time, so I'm a little miserable in some of these shots, I think. But you know, also I'm still learning the. I have a GoPro Hero 7 Black that is supposed to be stabilizing. The feature's turned on, but for some reason it's still bouncing around. So I got some of the iMovie corrected the shaking, but cropped in. So I got some shots of my face real close. So we'll get there. I'm learning. Without further ado, we'll get into the video starting late June 2020. Hope you enjoy. Good morning. It is Saturday, June 27th, 2020, and I am about to tack under the mast. Now, this is what I had originally in place. This is where the mast step is. These guys are in good shape. This guy, I don't know what the hell it is. This guy is bolted down into here. This looks like it was made up of, I don't know, some kind of cement material. So I gotta redo that. I thought maybe it would be solid fiberglass all the way down, but when I pulled this off, there's still some remnants. You can see it was balsa coring under all of this. So I'm just gonna replace, make it easy on myself, replace all the balsa coring, bring this up to grade, and then figure out how to do this part. So today I gotta get this down to at least down to top of fiberglass a little, get all the wood off, sand it, and then I gotta do more of this right here. Feather in the edges of the fiberglass all the way around. I'm good all the way except for right here. This is gonna be a pain to do. I didn't think far enough ahead when I took this off. Actually, I couldn't. It shouldn't matter because this went right up to the edge. But I gotta somehow get it so I can lay fiberglass up and tie it in. I'm probably gonna be rebuilding. The hatch anyway. So I'll get this tied in and worry about that part later. So I'm going to start scraping. Let this be full thickened epoxy. That's right where the mast is. I don't know if this compresses or not, but that should help. The coring is epoxied in. Now for the fun part, it's going to be, well, obviously let this cure. And then cut fiberglass to fit. Well, I gotta cut back on the edges so I can feather in the fiberglass to tie into the existing, and then cut fiberglass to fit, and that should be fun. I've never fiberglassed anything that big. Alright, I have ground down, overlap the fiberglass onto the existing fiberglass. Hopefully I've gone far enough in this area here, but we'll see. And overlapped down along the side too. So I laid out a sheet of plastic and outlined the whole thing. I think I got 3-foot wide roll of fiberglass, so I think I'm gonna have a joint there, overlap, small section and then one big section. We shall see. So this is the basement epoxy center. The 105, 206, 406 for my thickened epoxy, and 407 for the fairing compound. I got a 205 back there. This is Rochester, New York, so there's going to be times when it's in the 50s that I may need to do something, and that's the best bet. I buy these by the, I think, 20 pack online. Right now I'm getting set up for that larger project, the under the mast on top of the forward cabin. So I've already got 6 pumps of the epoxy. I'm gonna 5 of them. And I'm going to do 10 more. These things come with a few covers, caps on them. These all have caps on them, so it should be alright overnight. I could be able to do this till tomorrow morning. I've got a lot of these stir sticks. So that's what I'm doing now. There we go, 15 ready for tomorrow morning. It's just the resin, obviously. There's no epoxy, or there's no hardener mixed in yet. I haven't lay out the first layer and see what I have left, and if I don't need this much, I'll just pour it back in, but that's what I'm doing. And I mean, I've heard people say you shouldn't do more than 3 or 4 pumps each mixture. 6 seems to work just fine for me. I'm in my basement, and it is, well, right here. It is 64 degrees at that height, probably 60 degrees down on the floor here. So these are nice and cool. By the time I get them outside and working with them, I'm using them up before they get too hot. So it moves pretty quickly, so I'm not really worried. I've done it several times and not had any issues, so there you go. Alright, well, here we are. This is the layout. And this is the second middle layer. So I'm thinking what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring the 205 up here with all my 15 cups of resin, and I can add the 205 to it as I need it. Only problem with that is it's like 90 degrees out right now. Do have a fan, I'll turn that on in a second. Do get a breeze through here, so it's actually not bad. It's a white cover, so it reflects the heat, so it's actually not too bad in here, but still, I mean, the ambient temperature is 90 degrees. So I mix them up one at a time. They spread them out as I need them. Here we go. So this is how I solved my too hot problem. Add what I need, close her back up. Now we're gonna get started. See you on the other side. 3 layers of 10 ounce. It's down.
nitrile gloves on, and anytime I lifted my hand up, a stream of water would roll out of my gloves and down my arm, and it would be hot water. Like, where's this hot water coming from? Alright, next up, it is, I don't know what it is, July 18th, maybe, mid-July 2020. Still working on this section that goes under the mast. We've had a heat wave. It's been in the 90s. I just haven't had the urge to get up here and sand. It's going to be 90 today again. They're in the 90s, but I got to get this going. I turned the fan off so you can hear me. In the time since the last video, I had put 3 layers of 10-ounce cloth down here. I've got conflicting opinions on whether that's enough. Getting it back to 1/8 of an inch thickness, which is what was already on here, is not happening with that. But by the same token, epoxy with the fiberglass is stronger than the original poly, and then it was probably overbuilt in the first place. So this is probably okay. But that being said, it's open right now. There's no reason not to put more on. So I have it all cut. It's in the it's behind me. I got 4 more layers of 10-ounce cloth ready to go on. I've got my cooler full of the resin with the hardener right here waiting. I did have to patch up, like right here there was a big bubble that didn't take on the first 3 layers, so I ground that out and I put down a patch here. Same here and here. This guy was an area where this was the cutout, but there was a small area here that had down to the fiberglass, and I didn't fill it in enough, so there was a real divot here. So I put several layers here to bring it up to where I have the finned out. So right now I got to take my brand new, thanks Dad for my birthday present, random orbital. I got a bunch of 40 grit, so I do have to prep this for more epoxy and fiberglass. I did grind it down a little bit, but I'm going to use my new random orbital, and it's got a nice vacuum attachment, which I had to get some parts for. And we'll see how this goes. So, alright, here we are on the other side. I got 4 more layers down, 10-ounce cloth, total of 7 layers with epoxy. I'm quite sure that's strong enough. Again, considering the boat was overbuilt to start with, and epoxy is stronger than the polyester. And I am hot. I am drenched. I had a layer over this for the work. Fan is off right now, so you can hear me. I don't know what day it is. Sunday, late July 2020. On the 7 coats, 10-ounce cloth, epoxy resin. Just sanded this down. It's ready for fairing. There's going to be more work here for the mast step itself. But before I fair that, I have sanded down this section right here, and then the same thing on the other side, right, that area there, which are the larger areas on the side decks that only have the 3 layers of 10-ounce cloth. I'm going to put probably 3 more layers on there. These other areas, they're smaller. I'm not too worried about it. Some of them actually I didn't even go through the whole top skin of fiberglass. Done for the day. Sunday, June 19. I looked at my phone, see what the date was. I got 3 more layers of 10-ounce cloth on that section, and then the same down there, which looks like a paper towel just blew on it. Better get that. But that's done. So when I'm done with or when that cures, either next weekend or maybe some point this week, I'll come back and I'll put down the fairing compound onto what I just did today, those two side deck, and then this hole under the mast. This is all ready for fairing compound. Hopefully the last work needs to be done before I can work on the mast step area. So that is it. Saturday, July 25, 2020, and I am now done with area underneath the mast. Has its first layer of fairing compound on it. Underneath the shop vac there is the one side deck area that I added a few more layers of fiberglass, and then right in here is the other area. These have fairing compound on them as well. So now from the back of the cabin, front of the cockpit forward, is done with the first layer of fairing compound. So she's solid again. Now I have the fan off. It's 90 degrees again. I guess it's not quite that hot, but it's pretty good. This will look pretty good. I added my support back in. This is right on the aluminum header. This is where the mast would be, so I can handle it. And we'll go back and see where I'm at now. I am now set up for the cockpit. All right, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I am obviously the next step. I'll be probably showing video of that cockpit sole. As far as the title of this episode, 2 months under the mast, I'm sure some of you probably caught on that is a homage to 2 years before the mast, a book by Richard Henry Dana back around the turn of the last century. Cool sailing book. Another one, I'm a writer, so I love old books. I love to collect books. I have another one here, Sailing Alone Around the World by Joshua Slocum. I have the Barnes & Noble new version. I was in Barnes & Noble one time in their used book section, and I don't think they realized it, but it doesn't have the cover anymore. But I found a first edition, Sailing Alone Around the World, Captain Joshua Slocum, from 1899. I think I paid like $3 for it, so that's the kind of thing I'm into. So anyway, I'm going to tack on to the end of this some sailing footage. Last weekend we were out on a friend's Catalina 270, so I'll put a couple minutes of that on, see the Lake Ontario September sailing at that point. If you like this, give it a like, subscribe if you can. Appreciate it. See you next time.